Not many people believed it when Barcelona announced the loan signing of Marcus Rashford.
Marcus Rashford is not starting for Barcelona. He's not. Barcelona don't need Marcus Rashford. Now, every part of my body, every cell in my body, when all this conversation came about Marcus Rashford, said, oh, no. You don't need this if you're Barcelona. You don't need this if you're Hansi Flick.
To many, it looked like just another risky move from a club still trying to rebuild itself financially and on the pitch. Rashford wasn't the most hyped name on the market. He wasn't Barcelona's first choice, and he carried the reputation of being an inconsistent and frustrated player.
But I can be positive, and so I will be. If they get nothing from Marcus Rashford, they're still going to be productive. They're still going to score goals consistently. This team will continue to score goals, regardless of what they get or don't get from Marcus Rashford. If they get anything from Marcus Rashford, if they get anything near his best, he gives them something different. He gives them a change of pace that can trouble defenders in La Liga. He gives them a more vertical player, a player that can get out in transition, which we saw with Hansi Flick is something that Barcelona can do very well. And how does he get close to his best? And this is when I really have to be positive and optimistic. He knows he's coming to the end of the big time opportunities for him. This is it. It's Barcelona. And he's away from the pressures, I suppose, or the scrutiny of and what had become a toxic environment in the Premier League for him, especially at Manchester United. And he's going to a place in which, like I said before, whether he scores or doesn't score, it's not going to really matter. Barcelona will continue to score goals. So the expectations will not be on him. So if you get any productivity from him, then it's a gain for Barcelona. From that point of view, it makes sense. Regardless, still, if I were making decisions for this club, I would not touch Marcus Rashford.
Still, that decision, made by Barcelona at Hansi Flick's request, would begin to turn into one of the most surprising stories of the season. At the time, Barcelona's plan was a different one. The main target to reinforce the attacking flank had a clear name: Nico Williams. Young, explosive, and already adapted to Spanish football, a national team teammate of Lamine Yamal, Pedri, and Dani Olmo, he represented the ideal fit for Barcelona's sporting project. But football, as always, changes quickly. Nico Williams chose to renew his contract with Athletic Club, closing a door that Barca had considered almost certain to open. Suddenly, the club found itself under pressure, with little time, a limited budget, and an urgent need to find a reliable solution. Luis Diaz was even mentioned as a second option, but financial constraints made the move impossible, and Diaz ultimately joined Bayern Munich. It was in this context that Marcus Rashford stopped being just an alternative and became a real possibility. While part of the Barcelona fanbase questioned the move and the media approached the deal with caution, Hansi Flick saw something different.
Yes, of course. This is we always see in the training, and he showed today, and I'm very happy for him.
Has he announced himself now as a Barcelona player?
He is now. Of course, he's one of. In the offense, we have a lot of good players, and he's one of this. And I'm really happy to have him because he gives us a little bit more opportunities options to follow the match, and it's great to have him.
The German coach did not see just a player looking for a fresh start, but a rare opportunity to recover elite talent, competitive hunger, and top-level experience at a price below market value. According to Sport, Hansi Flick was personally involved from the very early stages of the deal. As early as May, when most names were not even being discussed publicly, he had already made direct contact with Rashford. This was not a superficial conversation. Flick presented the project, explained the playing philosophy, outlined the role he envisioned for the attacker, and, above all, was honest. At Barcelona, there would be no guarantees. There would be no automatic status. Every minute on the pitch would have to be earned. Rashford listened carefully. He knew exactly what he was getting into. He was coming from a Manchester United side where he was no longer a priority, where his influence had declined, and criticism had piled up. Rashford was no longer a central figure in Ruben Amorim's plans, which made reaching an agreement easier. Accepting Barcelona meant stepping into an even more demanding environment, where every mistake is magnified and every match is a public examination. Even so, something about that challenge deeply appealed to him. More than just changing clubs, Rashford saw it as a chance to redefine his career, a fresh start on one of world football's biggest stages, under a coach who believed in him when few others did. and at a club that, despite its difficulties, maintains an almost obsessive winning culture. As negotiations progressed, another detail made Rashford's commitment, unlike Nico Williams, unmistakably clear. To make the deal happen, he agreed to give up around 15% of his salary. It was not imposed, it was his choice. From Manchester United's side, the process was relatively straightforward. Rashford was no longer a key piece in Amorim's plans, and the English club was willing to facilitate his departure. Personal terms were agreed quickly, with only the financial structure between the clubs left to resolve. In the end, Barcelona secured a loan deal with a purchase option set at approximately €30 million at the end of the season. Once everything was finalized, Rashford wasted no time. He traveled to Barcelona, took part in just a few training sessions, and immediately joined the squad for the pre-season tour. There was no lengthy adaptation period and no comfort zone. From day one, the message was clear. He would have to prove on the pitch why he deserved to be there. As the weeks passed, doubts began to fade. Rashford was not perfect, nor consistently brilliant at all times, but he became decisive. A goal here, an assist there, intelligent movement, defensive sacrifice, match after match. He grew into an important part of Flick's system. In 24 appearances across all competitions, the Englishman has recorded 7 goals and 11 assists, directly contributing to 18 goals. Those numbers place him among the most productive players in the squad this season.
Yep, and then if we talk about Marcus Rashford, who did have the finish tonight, scored 2 goals for Barcelona.
Yes.
To come back to England wearing a Barca shirt and have that kind of performance.
It was always going to be the case. It seems that it works like that all the time. And Marcus Rashford happened, although Rafinha does ever so well on the first goal on the counter at the very beginning, hold the ball well, and then Jules Koundé, as you're going to see here, will receive the ball, go back on his left. But that header, but the power that it generates now, that's a great header.
What about this one?
We've seen that before. I mean, it's a hell of a finish, but we've seen that one before with him.
You'll do well to see a better strike than that this season in the Champions League.
Yeah, and he has to, because he's on loan at one of the best teams in Europe. He's been given this great opportunity off the back of doing not a lot at United and a little bit at Villa. So he has this magnificent chance, albeit he was in tonight because Lamine Yamal is injured, so getting game time from him will be difficult, you would imagine, but not if he's doing that. That's going to say to Hansi Flick, give me more game time, this is what I can do for you. He was brilliant, he looked sharp on that left-hand side, he looked pacey, he was direct. Obviously his 2 goals are the talking point, the second one was just absolutely outstanding. But that's what Marcus Rashford has to do if he wants to earn a move to Barcelona full time, which I don't know if it's going to happen, or if he wants to earn a move somewhere else after his loan spell. He's back in the shop window, and the more performances he puts on like this, the better chance he has at getting away from Manchester United, which ultimately United want, and ultimately Marcus Rashford wants. So a brilliant, brilliant performance from Rashford.
Yeah, and we've been talking a lot lately about him, that he could show what he's good at, that strength, that speed, that power that he's got. He's good at good finishing, but in tight spaces he was going to have trouble. We saw in the first game against Mallorca, he was trying to find his gaps, trying to drop, asking the ball, and he was struggling a little bit. And today I think we can see a little bit, we've seen a glimpse of what Rashford can provide to this Barcelona. When he's on with the space at the back, Trippier couldn't handle the speed, the power, that direction. He doesn't hesitate anytime to try and face you on 1v1, because he knows that he's got ability, he's got skills, and of course that fantastic touch. I like this understanding with Rafinha. We saw it on one assist in the last game. Today, try a couple of times, and this understanding between him and Rafinha is something that we are going to see quite often. He's got that ability to see the runs on opponent, on teammates, and today try a couple of times again to the diagonals of Rafinha is something that for Barcelona is also new. Those fantastic transitions going forward.
Correct. I think my takeaway from looking at Marcus Rashford tonight, take away the 2 goals, I think he looked physically fit. It looks like he's muscled up at the same time. So now he's at a proper football club where the demands are so high. The coach, the players inside that dressing room will put that on Marcus Rashford. I think it's never been in question about Rashford's ability. He can do it on the football pitch, but what's his lifestyle like away from the football pitch? That never really gets him fully fit consistently on the pitch. Now I think at Barcelona he's got a brilliant opportunity, as I said, because the demands are so high, and he has to be on it, and he has to be fit, and he has to live his lifestyle right, because you see the performance in the second half. He was quiet in the first half. It it was a tight game for him. Trippier handled him quite well, but the second half he turned it on. The first header was immaculate. The second goal was a wonderful strike. I've seen him do that for Man United against Man City in a Manchester derby a few years ago. Thunderbolt of a shot, and then he grew in confidence. He played with a bit of swagger, and that's what you want to see from him.
Beyond the statistics, what truly stood out was how seamlessly Rashford integrated into the club. In interviews, he repeatedly highlighted the warm welcome he received from day one. He spoke about the city, the internal atmosphere, and his relationship with the coaching staff and teammates. He said he felt at home almost immediately, something that is not always easy for a foreign player at such a demanding club.
For sure, you know, I try to encourage, but it has to come from within. You know, it has to be something that the person wants to do. Because when it's not, I think it is not maximum for the people you are trying to help. If they don't think it's from a genuine place, then it's difficult for them to relate with you and have this connection. But for me, honestly, it's just normal. This was my life, my whole upbringing, so it's normal for me to be in this type of environment. I feel comfortable and I feel like I can help, so I will try to.
Listen, I'm a huge Marcus Rashford fan, but the more I see his improvement at Barcelona, the more kind of feel it's a sentiment expresser about Paul Pogba, and Marcus Rashford adds to that. Contrast that with Newcastle, with Manchester United, who, as big a club as they are, as much glory as they've seen, are struggling by that comparison to their former selves. And he is the big name player. He's the star that people are looking at to lead by example on and off the park. And he just isn't able to deliver. No, that is not a slight on his talent or his abilities, but it's more descriptive of his personality. And so I don't think he will ever be the player for Manchester United that he's shown he can be for Barcelona or indeed England when he was at his best for them.
No, it's really good. I felt from the minute that I arrived, you know, I feel really welcome, and for me the reason why I'm here is to help the team. I'm here to try to help them win trophies, and last year they had a fantastic season, but you know, like in life and in football, things move on quickly, so we have to, you know, try to repeat the season that they had last season. So I'm fully focused on this, and you know, the staff, the players know that I'm focused on this. So it's been really good. You know, of course, this is what I want, but it's not the reason why I am you know, pushing and working hard. The reason why is because I want to win. You know, Barcelona is a fantastic club, a huge club, a club that is known for winning, and is this type of I want to say pressure, but it's not like it's not a bad type of pressure. It's a pressure that you look forward to, and a pressure that I want to have whilst I'm playing football. You know, if I'm at a club that doesn't demand these things, then it's more difficult for me to be motivated, and yeah, so it's a fantastic environment for me to continue my football journey. So I just try to do my best. I try to help push the team to win, and you know, in the summer we will see what happens.
Rashford believes he is in the right place at the right time to continue developing as a player. Meanwhile, internally, Barcelona is watching closely. As the season reaches its halfway point, the overall assessment is positive. Despite some moments of inconsistency, something normal during an adaptation process, Rashford's impact has been undeniable. His versatility is especially appreciated by Hansi Flick. He can operate out wide or as a more central forward, offering different solutions within a squad that is still searching for balance. According to information from Moreno, Barcelona is already working behind the scenes to keep Rashford beyond this season. After extensive analysis and deliberation, the club's leadership appears convinced that the Englishman could be an important piece in the medium and long term. Signing a new striker and a winger is one of Barcelona's main priorities for the summer of 2026, and Rashford fits perfectly into that dual-profile role. Hansi Flick, in fact, already considers Rashford's permanence a priority. The coach sees in the forward not just statistics, but commitment, mentality, and a willingness to compete at the highest level. everything he values in his sporting project. Still, a significant challenge remains. Barcelona continues to deal with financial limitations. Although the purchase option is set at what is considered a reasonable figure in today's market, around €30 million, the club will need to find creative ways to finance the deal. Financial maneuvers, internal adjustments, and strategic decisions will be required. From Rashford's side, the position is clear. He wants to stay. He has made that evident, both publicly and privately. There is a sense that, for the first time in a while, player and club are moving in the same direction, with aligned goals and realistic expectations. What began as an alternative plan, almost improvised, is now shaping up to be one of Barcelona's smartest decisions of the season. Rashford arrived under doubt, without guarantees and under heavy pressure. In response, he delivered work, sacrifice, and results. Now, the club must decide whether to turn this temporary bet into a permanent commitment. Regardless of the outcome, one thing is already certain. Marcus Rashford has not gone unnoticed at Barcelona. He seized his opportunity, embraced the challenge, and proved that when talent meets the right environment, unlikely stories can gain momentum. And perhaps, in the end, the decision so many questioned will be remembered as the beginning of something much bigger. If you were Barcelona, would you buy Marcus Rashford?